especially for people who identify as men, to allow themselves to be more free and expressive and creative, to just sing or dance or rap or do whatever it is, or just even talk without having anywhere goals to get to. You know, I'm not showing up here with a specific goal or outcome that I need to happen. I'm talking for the sake of enjoyment and conversation with my good friend here because I enjoy connecting with you. And I think you have valuable things to share that I can learn from. And, you know, I guess the only goal that I have is just to enjoy and to share and to express. And whatever comes from that comes from that. You know, if even one person was inspired by this conversation or something, got something out of it, great. But I don't even need that to happen. I'm just here to enjoy the conversation itself, even if nobody was watching, because I enjoy it, and that's why I'm here. So yeah, that's kind of the last piece I want to end on, and would love to hear if you have any final reflections coming up for you or takeaways as we kind of bring this conversation to masculine close, noticing the time.
Uh, yeah, there's something that came up that I want to touch on a little bit, and then I'll see if I can bring it home.
Cool.
It is this that I started touching on earlier, this ever softening that happens, this dissension actually into our body, and it's the thing that the patriarchy, the hyper masculine culture fears the most, because when we soften and begin to feel, there's so much hidden grief there
Hmm.
behind the warrior, and even behind the social justice warrior, behind the fire, behind the rage and the power is like the feelings that we're trying to avoid using this facade. So the griefing is huge, and the tenderness of that, the flow, the water, the feminine, right? That's waiting there, and so we're terrified of feeling, we're terrified of softening, or and yeah, because there isn't a space held where that's normalized and celebrated, which is
Hmm.
we're creating that culture. But on the other side of it, we find that that feelings are the most delicious thing ever, in that the more we let that river flow of suppressed emotion and grief, the more we can receive what is always here within our own presence and within every little sensation, and the fuller we become, and we become more connected to the earth, to nature, which is a huge part of it, with what is here, when we're not trying to define who we are or where we have to get to, when we're just here in that feminine place of being, the being that which is the ground from which doing emerges, from which the masculine erects.
Hmm.
Um, we tap into so much joy and juiciness, and this is really crucial medicine for all of us at this time, because it's in that place where the life force of the feminine, of nature, of creation, of earth, moves through us, and yeah, she gives us that creative inspiration, and creativity comes from that place of non-definition, new solutions, new ways of being, and we're already feeling it in the moment. So it speaks on that whole piece of like overflowing. It's like the place where receiving and giving are there's no more illusion of separation. So we're simultaneously receiving the joy and the ecstasy of being in this kind of eco sensuality of like connection with all of life, and with the feminine principle of feeling and embodiment and joy and spontaneity. And codes come in of inspiration, and it is a dance where the masculine does come in and is asked to ground that energy in, and to focus that energy,
Hmm.
and because there is such thing as toxic femininity, just to kind of wrap it up on this note, to balance it out, there is toxic femininity, and there is getting lost in the flow getting lost in the sauce, and getting like lost in emotional spirals and chaos. There is that, and that's where the masculine cuts in and goes, no, enough. Like, this is why I'm here. This is what's important. This is what's real. This is what needs to happen in order to find balance. So it's constantly a dance of like exploration, and both are equally divine, the feminine and the masculine working together. And yeah, the deeper we come into the feminine, I just find, to wrap it up, that the deeper the masculine comes online and is asked to show the fuck up to meet that level of need, the level of longing, to meet how fucking wet the feminine is, for the masculine to finally meet her through us, and through us showing up in the world. Like, and so yeah, just the deeper I've gone into my being, the deeper I'm called into my masculine, into my doing, in order to show up for that. And to constantly be humbled and torn apart again, and be swallowed whole by the feminine and by the death process, in order to rebirth again as the butterfly over and over again, in deeper and deeper balance and integration. And I truly believe that the future for us and the nature of all of us is this principle of Shiva Shakti, non-dual realization, Hyros Gamos, the snakes intertwined, the knowing that we are the masculine and the feminine, and getting to a place of lack of differentiation. And what we're doing right now is we're weaving the realm of being that we've explored as psychonauts, spiritual creatives. We bring this place of being that's been suppressed and this culture has been built based on a disconnection from. We bring that back to remind us of our source, which generates us with new life, and we're simultaneously tasked with the mission, with the purpose, the masculine mission and purpose of figuring out how to build a world that can honor that, and to bridge and to fit and to figure it out, and to show up for the very real healing and love that needs to be stood up for at this time. But just as we show up more and more for the deep call of the earth and of her children, which are our family, and for each other, and for the women in the world that have been suppressed, and the men in the world that have been suppressed, and this whole like undertaking that we need to show up for, and that our masculine drive brings us in for, in remembering the place of being, we embody the medicine and the resolution of the illusion that got us into this mess in the first place, knowing that there's permission in every moment to receive ourselves as that which we are seeking, and to let something bigger than us, than who we think we are, continue to love through us into the world in a way that dissolves all idea of masculine and feminine, doing, being, this, that.